Hi, I'm Melvin from newsbites.ph. This is my stupid question, but how large is the uh, market for gamers who do not have an account yet? Is is this big enough for guys like you to actually do a partnership to target that market? Thank you.
But let me try to answer that question first of all by starting with the audience that Nextplay already has today. No? So Gab mentioned, I think mentioned the number earlier, but at Nextplay now through our network, through our creator network, through the people who follow our esports teams, etc. We have an audience of about 150 million followers with an ability to reach, as many as 800 million views on a monthly basis. Right? That's just from the people who follow all of our talented young people who produce content for us, the people who follow our teams, etc. So if you just think from that potential, if you even just take a small percentage of that, it's still a pretty significant number. So that's kind of the potential that we see here, and hence the idea of a partnership. So, again, I'm really of the belief that consumers don't really wake up or wake up one day thinking my ambition is to be a digital banking customer, right? They do it because of a use case, because of something that they're into, they like to do, they want to be able to participate in it. In our case, we're catering for gamers, and if we can create 100 million, digital banking accounts because of people's love for games, that's a great place to be.
Just to add a little bit more color on what Miguel said earlier, kind of measuring the market of the gamers here. Let's start here, at least in the Philippines. Actually, when I asked the question, who among here are gamers, I think most of you has raised their hands, right? And in the Philippines alone, there's 45 million recorded gamers here. Globally, there's 3.1. That's about half of the global population. So in terms of really looking at the market and who are we kind of targeting, it's going to be a huge market. And as you can see, if you kind of look into the people around, you probably have played some game on one form or the other. In fact, kind of quick stories over here. One of our colleagues in the company, his nephew just spent about 12,000 pesos buying a skin on a gun, right? Playing games. And my brother, before he was playing Clash of Clans, he used it's a bad example. He used my mom's credit card, right, to buy of 25,000 worth of these diamonds digitally, right? So it's happening, right, with the youngsters, and there's so many examples, right? And I think we are trying to change that notion that gaming is something that you do simply to pass time, but actually it's going mainstream now. People are earning money from playing video games, either professionally or just casually, with all of these platforms emerging. And there has to be a financial structure that could guide these youngsters into this new world, and that's what Union Digital and Nextplay hopes to build together.
For Union Digital, what kind of requirements will you be asking from because some of these gamers are usually minor kids and they don't have the usual identification documents, cards, and usually they just use e-wallets. So, yeah, thanks.
Yeah, so we will open accounts for those compliant with the BSP, of course. And that's going to require that they have all the proper identification as mandated by law. And yes, I mean, if they're, that's, you're talking about, I think, the informal gaming and in some of the other places. I think that's where we want to also properly educate and help teach, right? There are other accounts that can be opened for, and maybe not fully structured or fully functioning accounts, but they'll be opened appropriate to the members of the community, which is also why it's important that we work through a community that knows the gamers, that has done KYC on the gamers as well. And it's not a blanket. But that said, we do have account opening requirements that are mandated by law. That's the minimum that we definitely have to follow. I'll go back on to your first question, which I think is a valid question. Are there enough gamers? And I think I'll approach it from the other side. There seems to be a big audience. If you look at the global audience for gaming, and when I wonder what's happening also is people are following it online, social. It's got that multiplier effect, no? And I think that's where it's getting a lot of traction also because yes, you're 5 people playing against 5 people online, and then you have 20 million people watching you, for example, no? I've been I mean, in Singapore, they filled up the Singapore Stadium with 30,000 people, but another 50 million watching online. Those numbers are boggling. So when you look at how much attention, even Miguel, correct? They make, I mean, in terms of audience, compared to the gaming and compared to the TV and sports markets in the US, the audience that they're getting is much larger. No? So the stats are there to show that it has a great following. Because first it has a good community, then it has a great following, and then audience. That really has that multiplier effect. And I'm trying to figure, no other sport or audience has that kind of, I mean, even NFL or the NBA don't have that kind of multiplier effect.
By the way, the other interesting thing about the gaming, community or the gaming tribe, if you want to think of it, is not only is there a willingness to invest time, but there's a serious willingness as well to spend money, right? I mean, perhaps 12,000 as an example is one example, but I've been trying to figure out how to mention this, so I'm just going to come out and share this story right now. So, Nexplay, because of our team and because of our own brand as a gaming brand, we now have a growing merchandise business where we sell swag, we sell shirts and ball caps and all of that online through our own stores. We launched our new line yesterday, and I was so excited. So I asked Gab this morning, "Hey, we launched our new line yesterday. Is it true that everything sold out in 15 minutes?" And he said, "No, that's not correct. It sold out in 15 seconds." So it just goes to show you how much enthusiasm there is among the gaming community and their willingness to spend, even if it's just something as simple as being able to wear a shirt with Nexplay on it. And now with Union Digital on it as well.
I won't have my kids buy 12,000 pesos.
One last. Okay, we have time for one last question.
Union Digital is a digital bank. How does it compare or differentiate from the Union Bank online banking? And are there specific things that you offer that Union Bank online?
So hello? Yeah, hello. So Union Digital is the digital bank of Union Bank. No? It's actually I'd like to think of it as the continuing and ongoing transformation of Union Bank. So we just completed our regulatory launch last July 18, and we're open. But for now, we're open at a limited basis by exclusive invite for now, just to get us started. We will start to unfold our products and services as we come along. I think you're seeing some glimpses of it now with what we're doing, but we'll just have to hold for the details for now. But definitely, it's leveraging on a lot of what we've done in Union Bank. So you think of it like a continuation rather than a totally different bank.
Just to add, for existing subscriber of our bank, customers of Union Bank online, does it have to apply for another account, or it will have a swift?
It'll be a smoother customer experience.
Thank you.
We've had a handful of wonderful questions from our attendees here, but we do have one